One, we did reflections. We reflected over a line, x-axis, y-axis, y equaled x, y equaled negative x, and then horizontal and vertical lines. And that's what we were working on. And we're going to keep working on those. Tomorrow we're going to put both of them together with what we're doing. But today we're going to do translation. So a translation... A translation is a transformation in a plane that maps all the points of the pre-image, remember that's where we start, the same distance and the same direction. Okay, so all the points, so every point in my picture, A, B, and C, the bold is the pre-image. You can also tell that by, if you look on your paper, hopefully you can see it, if not, add it. This is A and A prime. If you can't see the prime on the copy, make sure you can. Put a little prime next to those. Prime means change in geometry. So if it's not bolded, you go from A to A prime. So when I do this, you always move X first, then Y. That's how we do it. So I'm going to go from A to A prime. So I'm moving left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm moving down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that translation would be -4, -6 of triangle A, B, C. So that means that every point in this triangle is going to go left 4 and down 6. So if I go and I count any of these B or C and that doesn't happen, then that's not a translation. So let's go to B. So from B to B prime. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did that follow that -4, -6? Okay. So C to C prime. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they all moved that same direction. Yes?
The little triangle symbol right before ABC.
Yes.
Does that change if it's like a square or something?
If it's a quadrilateral, you just say the vertices. You don't put a shape. Okay? So the only time you put the shape would be like if it's a circle. The notation for a circle is that. Or a triangle. Anything else, you just list the vertices. Okay. Other questions? Okay. A translation is a rigid motion. So a rigid motion, in a rigid motion, length and angle measure are preserved, which is kept. Stays the same, whatever you want to put on there. So again, everything happened. Reflection, we had a capital R meant reflection, yes? So capital T means what? Translation. Okay, so if you see a capital T, it means translation. It means whatever I do to my X's, whatever I do to my Y's. And I have to do to every single thing. So we have, says find the image of the translation triangle EFG. And so EFG is -5, 4, -1, 5, -2, -1. So let's go ahead and graph that first. Is that too thin to see? It probably is. So in your assignment today, you're not asked to graph them. You're asked just to put the points, the coordinates, but we're gonna do the coordinates and graph it so you can see the movement, okay? So we're starting off just like before, we wrote them, so we're not transferring information and going to do it wrong. So E, F, and G. So my rule here says capital T means to translate. I'm adding 6 to my x's, subtracting 7 from my y's of the shape, the triangle EFG. That's what it tells me to do. So every single one of these coordinates, I'm going to add 6, subtract 7. Add 6, subtract 7. Add 6, subtract 7. So E prime, well, negative 5 plus 6 is 1. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. And actually, I'm going to change the green. Bless you. Okay, so then F prime, negative 1 plus 6, 5. And 5 minus 7, negative 2. G prime would be then 4, negative 8. So then we're going to graph those. Did my shape change? No. Did the angles change?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay. And these all get labeled with a prime because I've moved them once. I've changed them once. Okay. I want you guys to try this one, but instead of prime, we're going to make that double prime. Up there where it says E prime, F prime, G prime, they need 2 primes, double prime. So you need to find E double prime, F double prime, G double prime.
And we go off the original.
Yes, go off the original. Bless you.
Try graph them too.
Mm-hmm. How'd it go?
Wonderful.
Awesome. Easy. Okay, so in your assignment, it's not going to ask you to graph. It's going to say, what are the coordinates? What are the coordinates? What we wrote here. right? So that's what they're asking you for. So now on this next one, we have to write the rule. We have to come up with this rule. So it's obviously a translation, not a reflection. Yes? Because if it was a reflection, it'd be moved. So translation of, we're going to figure out this, of, well, this isn't a triangle, it's a quadrilateral. Yes? So that would just be STUV. Okay. So now, remember, we go from S to S prime. That's an important fact because if you do it backwards, you're going to lose points. The change is the prime. So the prime would be down the bottom one, right? It's hard to read. If you can't read it, put it there so you can see it. So I got to go from S to S prime. Could I pick to go from T to T prime? Yeah. Does it matter which one I pick? No. So I'm going back 1, so that'd be -1. And down 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4. So my check is do it from every one of them. Back 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. It is not back 1. You guys didn't catch me. I can't see it very well on mine. Look at your paper. Is it back 1?
Yeah. It is.
Oh, I just didn't do my U very well. Back 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did a half. Okay, so is it -1, -4? Okay, so now you're going to do the next one, but it's not of a shape. It's of a what?
Line.
Nope, just a point. So you're just going to put P.
Do the letters have to be in parentheses?
Yes. And actually, they're supposed to be in, they're supposed to be in this, like those little triangle things, but the book doesn't do a good job of always doing that. What was your question, Della?
Never mind.
Okay. Remember, you're going from P to P prime. Bless you again. And X always comes first. Yes? I got 5, 2. You guys get 5, 2?
Mine's the other way around.
Okay, P to P prime. How do I know prime is my change? Okay, so if you need to write from A to A prime or not prime to prime, whatever, if I'm doing measurement, that means foot, right? In math, those mean a lot of different things. In calculus, that means derivative. So we have to know which area we're in. In geometry, that means change.
So do I start with the gray or the black?
You always start at the one that's not prime. Okay, shh.
I
Listen,
don't know if it's prime or not.
prime, this P prime. P prime.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're always going from the unprime to the prime with the apostrophe on it. Everyone got that? Okay. So now we have composition. Composition of functions. Okay, what does it mean to have a composite of things?
Like a group.
A group. And like, have you ever heard of chemical compound? Things compounded. It means made up of more than 2 things. Okay, so a composition of rigid motions, or rigid motions. And so far you have translations and reflections. We will have rotations next week. Is a transformation with 2 or more rigid motions in which the second rigid motion is performed on the image of the first rigid motion. So what that means is you start at the right, the furthest right, and move left. Now, we are used to doing things from left to right, so this is one of those things we have to train our brain when we do anything with compositions of functions, which we will do in Algebra 2 also, and we'll do it in pre-calc. We have to train our brain to go from the furthest right, left. So if you look at this down here, we would start at the translation, -2, 5, and then move to the reflection over line L. So that's how we do these, because we could make a composition of like 30 things if we wanted to. And the next thing we talk about is a dance, and that's what we would do if we were doing a dance. If we do a dance, do I have to move here? I have to here and here and here, right? Or could I just walk over to the door? Is that a dance to just walk over somewhere? No. So every movement counts. So when you plan out, anybody done any choreography? Nobody in here done any dance? Girls, no dance? Reese, you're not a ballerina? Okay. So if you have a dance, you have to plan each move, and it has to be done in order. So this symbol right here, which you can barely see, now can you see? Is it a closed circle or an open circle? Open. Okay, that's important. It's an open circle. It is not a closed circle. So over here it says the notation is used. This notation uses a small open circle. Okay, that means composition. If you ever see that on something, it's not a misprint, because a closed circle means what? Multiply, right? An open circle means composition. Whatever it is, it means composition. It is one of the few things in math that doesn't have an alternate meaning to it. So the first step would, we would translate 2 to the left, 5 units up, and then we would reflect it across line L, whatever line L was. Okay, that's what we would do. So we're going to be Kyle, and we're going to dance. Okay, so again, if Kyle is dancing, I don't care that he started here and ended up over here. That'd be a pretty boring dance if I was dancing, right? You need to see all my movements. So we need to say how he's going to move from position A to B to C. So the first thing we're going to do is give ourselves a coordinate plane. So we're going to make this our y-axis. And we're going to make this our x-axis. So every square, like the whole square, is a number. Following? Everyone following so far? Okay, so we have a 5x5 grid. And we have to tell somebody how to move. We're going to tell Kyle how to move. So we're not going to do any reflections because the feet aren't switched, are they? If the feet were switched, would it be a reflection? Yeah, because they have the right foot, left foot. So we're going to have a translation, a composition of a translation of Kyle. And where does Kyle start? What's the coordinates of Kyle when he starts?
2, 1.
Nope, other way.
2.
1, 2. Okay, so he starts at A and he has to go to B. So B is going to be here. This is A. This is the movement to B and the movement to C. Okay? So how am I going to get from A to B?
Up to
No. What always goes first? X.
right to
Right to, up to. So my first parenthesis is going to be 2, 2. And now I got to get from B to C.
Write one down one.
Write 1
And negative one.
and -1. Okay, so if I have a composition, I can just do that. So it's important because he's dancing that I need to know all those moves. What if it wasn't important I was dancing and I just wanted to go from here to here?
You just walk over there.
So what would my movement be?
Over 3.
Over 3 up 1.
So it'd be right 3 and up 1.
Do you write this?
So 1, 3. Okay, so how else could I have gotten 1, 3 from my composition?
The atom.
Atom. If I combined, if I took my x and my x, what would I get? 3.
Backwards.
Oh, I wrote it wrong. You guys didn't catch me. We said 3, 1, and what did I write? 1, 3. I was like, what's wrong? Because this should work. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, so 1 plus 2 is what? 3. Is that what we got?
Yep.
Yep. And what's the y's?
1.
1. Is that what we got? Yeah. So if I have the same rigid motion, can I combine them?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, could I combine them? Do you think if I did a reflection translation, could I combine them like that? No. Reflection translation, you would actually have to do the movement to figure it out. But here, when they're both translations, I can just add them. So down at the bottom, it says, I've given you 2 compositions. How can I make that 1?
Just add them.
So just combine them. And I'm going to say combine because if I have a negative, I'm not going to add, right? Okay, so I have 3. My x's are 3 and 1. So what do I get?
4.
4. And I have -2 and -1.
Negative 3.
So -3. I do not like that they didn't give you an object because we don't just translate nothing. So do B. I feel like my pen is a little bit too small to read. Sorry, guys. So I'm pretty sure if I can add right, I get -6 and 5. Questions? Should you overthink this? No. So when you are going through your assignment and you don't understand what the directions are asking you, look at your directions in your homework. Last hour they were like, I don't understand what it means. What? We just did it. Okay? But remember, the first one we graphed so we could see what was going on. They're just going to ask for coordinates. Is that what we wrote on the sides?
Yeah.
Yes. Any questions? Okay, so get started on your book assignment. This should not take you long. Is there going to be a lot of work to show me?
Yep. Nope.
Not much.